So if you looked at my channel about a week or two ago, you guys saw that I did the new release from Coach. It is Coach Open Road. I did my first impressions of it. I also talked about it on my live. And so now I'm coming back to give you my full review, to let you know if it's worth a pickup, all that good stuff. I know that I'm the only one that released this video on YouTube so far, at least at the time of me making this video. But with that said, let me know in the comments if you guys have tried this out yet, but I'm going to get straight into it, give you my full review of Coach Open Road. So without further ado, let's get it. Alright, my great smelling dudes, welcome back to my channel. This is Randy, aka Fragrance Dude, back with another fragrance video. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. Also, if you are not, then please like, comment, and hit the bell for future notifications if you do want my videos quicker. So again, we're going to be doing a review of Coach Open Road. I'm going to keep it pretty quick because I have talked about this a lot of different times. But now that I've worn it for about a week and a half, I wanted to give you my full thoughts on the fragrance, let you know if it's worth picking up, and if I'm excited about the future of this line, if there is one. So I'm going to get straight into it. I'm first going to just break it out, let you guys know exactly what notes you get from the fragrance. So the top notes you get are lemon and red apple. Mid notes are Szechuan pepper, clary sage, and lavender. And the base notes are vetiver, cedar, and patchouli. It's a woody aromatic fragrance through and through. It's more of a bluish fragrance. People were comparing it to Creed Aventus, stuff like that. But again, not many people have reviewed it. I'm pretty much the first in the United States at least. With that said, this fragrance is quite interesting because I love it. I love the smell. My wife loves the smell. When you first spray it on, it pretty much is the notes that you get. Based on a lot of times, the top notes, mid notes, base notes, they're all over the place. And this one, the lemon and red apple is pretty much what you get in the opening. That red apple is juicy, it's fruity, it's really nice, it's sweet. And then you also get this lemony undertone that provides like just a little bit of a lemony citrus underneath that red apple. And then you do get a little bit of lavender there in the opening as well, but it's not really forward. And then you also get a little bit of earthiness from the patchouli, but those are really dialed back. And you could also call it a little bit aromatic in the opening. But for the most part, you're focusing on apple and lemon in the opening with a little bit of like a blue undertone. So when you get about 5 to 10 minutes into this fragrance, that is where the red apple and lemon start to dissipate and become more background notes, as that blue aspect, the clary sage, the lavender, the aromatics really do start to pull up. And I told you before, it feels like there is a little bit of amber oxide in this fragrance. There's a lot of different fragrances that are out there in the designer community, especially, that this does smell very similar to or in the same realm as, whether it's Bleu de Chanel, there's Creed Aventus, there's Mont Blanc Explorer. And for me personally, I know a lot of other people might not get this, but I do get the Polo Blue line. That is the one that I get. You get a little bit of the like the mandarin orange that they get in the Polo Blue, substituted for that lemony apple, and then you get that earthiness, that aromatic blueness that you get from the Polo Blue line. And so, without repeating myself from my original video, so once you get into the mid, that lavender, clary sage, and aromatics come in as you do get that lemony apple dissipating. And then pretty much the fragrance stays the same all the way until about an hour to an hour and a half, where it just becomes more of a woody aromatic base that has a little bit of this earthiness in the background. Throughout parts of the fragrance and a little bit in the opening into the mid, that vetiver in there does give it a little bit of like a spicy smokiness almost, as well as that Szechuan pepper, but I've never smelled Szechuan pepper, so maybe it's just a mix. It smells almost like that blue smokiness, but again, it's so far in the background. Really what you need to concentrate on, again, opening, is that apple and that lemon, and then also that blue facet, the clary sage and lavender, and then the woods in the base, as well as that earthiness from the patchouli. The thing about this fragrance is the performance. So let's talk about the performance. So I told you guys originally it was just an okay performer, and I'm still sticking by that. The only thing is that this year it started out really good. We had the Most Wanted Parfum, we had Reserve Privé, we had a lot of different fragrances that were heavy projectors. They lasted long, all that good stuff. The performance was great. Then about May or June came, we started getting the parfums coming out, and they just were lackluster in performance. Ralph's Club Parfum, Armani Code Parfum, The performance is lackluster. It's very close to the skin. Boss bottled Parfum. And this one is no exception. It's not a Parfum. It is an Eau de Toilette. But with that said, the bottle is really nice. I'm hoping that it's the start of the line, because you only get about 4 hours of longevity from this, with about an hour of a little bit less than moderate projection, and then it becomes an intimate scent. It's really disappointing to me, and I keep wanting to debate on whether I want to keep this or return it and buy it again when it's cheaper. And I think I am going to end up doing that, because at this point in time, I can think of 5 or 10 other fragrances I would rather have than this, because this would just be sitting in my collection until next spring when I bring it back out to talk to you guys about it. There's other fragrances like Polo Blue Parfum that were released this year that do project a little bit better and that smell around the same. But I do have to say, if we're just talking the fragrance here, this fragrance is amazing. It smells great. That fruity, lemony opening, that blue facet, it's nothing that's not been done before. Maybe the opening's a little bit more unique, but the dry down and everything all together, it pairs very nice. It was very, very well made. It's just, I don't understand why this performance is so lackluster. I did send this to 2 of my decant winning giveaways, and they both said the same thing, that it really just dies on their skin after about 45 minutes to an hour. I think one of them said it, actually. The other one hasn't got back to me. But with that said, Coach for Men it's around the same projection as Coach for our longevity as Coach for Men, maybe a little bit less, and then the projection is just weak. If you're looking for something like that, I told my wife last night, and I tested it again 3 or 4 days this week and 2 days last week. I was telling my wife, tell me if you smell me walking around, because I'm debating on keeping this. And she said, no, I can't smell you. If you're one of those people that wants a cuddling fragrance, one of those fragrances that is real close to the skin, but somebody who, if they're laying on you or watching a movie or something, they'd be able to smell you, this would be a good fragrance. If you want something for an interview or for a wedding or for something like that, that you don't want to be too loud, then this would probably be a good fragrance for you. I'm really hoping that it's the start of the line. I hope there's an Eau de Parfum that does come out eventually, because if the projection was better, it would be one of my favorite fragrances. Let's just say that. As far as ranking, I'm going to rank it 2 separate ways. I'm ranking the scent of the fragrance, and I'm going to say the scent of the fragrance is probably an 8.5 or a 9. Love the scent of the fragrance. Really good. But I'm going to also rank the rest of the fragrance as a whole with the performance, and I would say it's about a 7, 7.5. Bringing that all the way down because that performance is so lackluster. When you have a fragrance that's like this, that's very close to other fragrances, again, it has that Polo Blue feeling. Way far in the dry down, you get the woodiness from the base of Creed Aventus. Very similar. It's not birch or anything like that. I'm just saying it's similarities. With that all said, it's a really nice fragrance. It just doesn't last that long. I'm not going to repeat myself, keep you guys here any longer. It is a really nice fragrance. You should definitely test it out before you want to buy it. And I would recommend to wait until this comes on discounters like most coaches do. Because then I think for a $40 pickup, it would be a nice random pull. Just like every other coach, they are those running errand scents or going to work scents that you don't want to be too offensive. That is Coach Open Road. Again, I'm probably going to return it because it's not the type of fragrance I'm going to wear now. It is a very versatile fragrance. I would see myself wearing it more in the spring and summer, but you could get away with wearing it in the fall depending on where you live. You could get away with it in the winter as well. It's a day or a night fragrance. So Coach Open Road, thank you guys so much for tuning in again. Let me know if you tried it in the comments and let me know what you think about it, or if you're excited to try it. But again, waiting for the Eau de Parfum, hopefully sometimes next year that we get it. But yeah, thank you guys so much. This is Randy. Appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll be back with another one. Peace out.